2 letters. 1 word, the meaning of life. Yeah. Ja Rule, where you at? Boy! Previously on Kimba TV. So if his swing fails, then I'll close the short and go long. I would probably not close the short and hedge long if it does it during the weekend. Yeah, it'll depend on things like, did the CME level get swept, etc. Getting back above like 50,600, 50,500 is pretty important. Coca says Bugatti boy from 51. Let's go! Who got nasty on that single print? Who got nasty on that single print, man? Get nasty. Get nasty. Is this hella pixelated? Is it hella pixelated? Single print and go. Get nasty. Bullets for blunts. We got Ludo. Oh, it's getting nasty, y'all. Let's go back to Coinbase for Sheezy. Let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Coinbase for Sheezy. Let's go. Gambling and gaming. You exit your short, bro. Yeah, I think I got stopped out for 32K or something like that. I was up like 5,200 just in fees. I realized last night. Navio says, is entering a short on the golden pocket of this swing fail a good idea? Is that a swing fail? That is not a swing fail, Navio. It could be a failed auction though, but a swing fail would have closed 230 minutes below the sweep level. Right? So Novio, make sure that you learn about swing failure patterns. Alrighty, Navio. Could be a failed auction though. Like this. Stop loss. I'm using my trackpad, sorry. You already know, you should know what it is. We've seen this thousands of times. All right. You want me to keep the fib on? I would assume everybody has the fib. The way it is says, I'm in this thangity thang. Stop loss, higher high. Are you waiting for that 57? I'm waiting for some sort of edge. So I rarely take the first attempt or like the first couple of hours. I want to let it do its thing, you know? Crypto Hawk says, man, I keep shorting. 3 of the last 4 did not work out. So what? I think I need to start over and come up with a new general thesis. Well, it's bullish now, Crypto Hawk. Yeah, so you gotta be able to kind of, you gotta be able to read the data, right? Because there is no such thing as certainties. So we're pretty much near the, do you remember when we talked about 53.3 and 53.5? Do you remember that? So this would be a TP for longs, and I'm just waiting for a bearish edge. But everybody remembers when we nerded out on 53.3, 53.5, right? So levels are already identified. Now I just want the edge. If the 53.3, 53.5 zone doesn't work, for me it would be 54.6 next. Intertask is one of the previous highs around 49.8. Oh yes. Yes, 49.8 is a daily and a point of control. Ooh, 7.5 hit. Here we go. Schwiggity schwaggity, ladies and gentlemen. Who getting nasty? Who getting nasty? You know what you want now? If you're somebody that took a short at the 7.5, You want a 5-minute candle close below this. That's the first start. You got to get this 5-minute candle close to close below 53439. That would be nice. Skip Moha, technical trader, what's going on? Are we close to being able to preserve age, you think? No. I don't think we're even close. Every time I look at like medical technology, I'm like, how the fuck are we still so primitive? Teosoti, what's going on? Gabrielle, oh, math. She knows. I'm telling y'all, baby. Mirino says, are you planning to add some shorts? I already closed my original short for like 35K. You know what I'm saying? And only Barry says everything playing out exactly like we saw in the highlights past week. Cause look. Cause look, y'all. Don't hate me cause I'm beautiful. Hello? Barry, talk to me. Testnet. I'm putting my stop loss at break even, yeah? Not that hard. Pico, perfect, top. So that's it. I'm gonna, I gotta pack and get ready for my flight. If I get stopped out, not that big of a deal. If it works out, great. Looking for a failed auction, right? This is the reason why, I don't know how many times we did it last week, but I've already talked about 53.3, 53.5. And if I get stopped out right now, it'll be for including the fees and the slippage, I would take like a $500 profit. BitHabby says I have the same entry. I mean, so first things first, BitHabby, on the smaller time frame, you had an engulfing 5-minute bearish candle. Okay, so 5-minute doesn't mean shit, alrighty, but this is how you put together all the shit that we talk about, and it's right now is quiz time. Do you really know what you're doing? Okay, do you know what the next milestone is? Even on the 5-minute candle close, I told y'all what we needed. Can you do that for the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour? That's all that matters. And if you're still in a long, that's fine too. God bless you. But as always, hands up if you remember me talking about 53.3, 53.5 zone. Alrighty? Everybody good to go? No one's getting wrecked, right? And whether you're gonna stop loss it at break even, or you're gonna take a little bit of an L because you saw some 886 goofy shit and you don't want to get stopped out, you're okay with whatever happens, right? Crappy says 534. But here's the thing, Crappy. I don't care if you're in a long or a short. The math is the math. We can't predict the future. So all you need to do, Crappy, is make sure that you have good risk management. What do I always say? I don't care where your entry is. I can't tell if you know what you're doing just by your entry. But I can kind of get a good idea if you know what you're doing based off of your stop loss. So, flexing your entry is fine, but the real flex, if you know what you're doing, would be the stop loss. That's why that's why I've only talked about, hey, you either have a higher high or you have it at break even and you're okay with whatever happens. All right, well, I got to dip in about 30 minutes, but I'll probably resume the stream later tonight. But you guys, everybody saw the entry, everybody saw the thing, okay? The math is the math. Reality Bite says you enter at 7.5. I did. Yeah, I mean, I literally showed it. I literally showed my position. And it had the fib on it. Not that difficult. And I can't lose. That's the best part that I want to convey to everybody is I can't lose, you know. Maybe I'm out, right now it hasn't made a lower low yet. So if it wants to go back and stop me out, that's okay. I'll take a small L, but it's like $130. You guys Gucci? Do you guys know what you want next? You need to lose this level. You have to lose and then turn it into resistance. Pre-Boy says, I'm in a long since 51.413, was expecting to hold it to 55. Do it. Hold it till 55. No one knows what the future is. There are no such thing as certainties in this game, only probabilities. Some things are 40%, some things are 60%, some things are 20%, some things are 80%. And even if it's an 80%er, it can still fail. So stick to your plan, pre-void. It would be incredibly goofy for you to give up on your long after 30 minutes of being above 53,000. So I don't think you have any reason to close your long yet, pre-void. I would start to close it if it, for example, there's two levels if I was in a long that I would be worried for. 53,090 and retail arena, right? Because I don't know how many times you've seen it, but if that's support and it loses it, then we have a chance to go down. And you would not want to get back into the retail arena value area high, right? Does that make sense? So as long as you stay above this and you stay above this pre-void, you have no reason to close your short. In my opinion, I wouldn't close it. I wouldn't even, if I were you, brother, I wouldn't even close it until here. Because I could see this, you know, and everybody that's trying to do like a bearish retest short, they all get squeezed. So just do your best pre-void, but like objectively speaking, even though I'm in a short, you have no reason to close your long. I hope that made sense, brother. Did you buy the new Samsung 57? Yes, I mean, this is my third one, but yes. Yes, it's right behind me. Navio, thank you for the resub. Rohit, do you ever look at funding rate? Not really. Azaz, getting back to retail arena with a bearish rate to increase the chance we teleport back down to theoretically Azaz, but it would also depend on if there's a bearish edge, if there's any other bearish edge. Simply going back into retail arena with a bearish retest, does it teleport back down? No. You would have to continually monitor, because what if it's going back down, brother, but it makes a 4-hour time frame hidden bull div right here for a bounce? So you don't want to just blindly memorize stuff. You have to be able to watch and interpret the data all the way through. Okay, dope. Especially because if I do get stopped out, I'm gonna be hunting for another thang. Desk slap, hit any hidden bear div or reg? Not yet, because it's a little bit early. I would, let me be super honest, desk slap. If I wasn't going on a flight, I wouldn't have rushed into this position. But I want to take it just in case. And if I get stopped out, not that big of a deal, and I know exactly what I would be waiting for the next one. But you see how like I'm going step by step, Living Forest or desk slap. So was it a swing failure pattern? No, right? So there's no reason to get in, right? Could this, I'm front running a failed auction, right? So if it's not a swing fail and if it's not a failed auction, what could another bearish edge be? The 3 drives, right? Kimba Crown, right? So those are the things that you want to keep in mind. Go to the 4-hour and see if you can see any sort of hidden divergences. All right, desk slap. And if you try the 3 drives and you get stopped out, then you need to either get CVD or like a hidden RSI edge, in my opinion, desk slap, something like that. Why hidden? Because, well, you could try a regular living forest, but if you go back and take a look at all the ones that had like nice little dumps, the hiddens were the ones that worked out a little bit. But you can see, if you see a regular, it wouldn't be bad to take it either. You know what I would personally love? A 4-hour or a higher time frame hidden with a 30-minute or a 1-hour regular. I don't know if you saw these, but 3 or 4 of the last big pumps, they all had a higher time frame hidden bull div with a smaller regular bull div inside. Do you remember that? So it's gonna just come down to like what you feel like you've seen and what you feel like you can rely on, brother. Yeah, so I would love a hidden with some smaller ones inside, but again, that's one of 100 ways that it could end up being bearish. You know, don't forget that you could have a 3 drives. You could have a sweep of the sweep. Right? The sweep of the sweep isn't that difficult because you already know what your invalidation will be and you can try to get back in it, right? But if I get stopped out, I'm most likely gonna try to take another position today or tomorrow, so I'll start it back up. Alrighty, but I would be looking at 53,150 to 53,090, and then I would be looking at 52,885 and the single prints. Yeah, you could easily just bounce from there, brother. What if it does a bullish retest on the value area high? Remember retail arena that we've been talking about? This is retail arena here. You see how the 4-hour candle closed? You see where the 4-hour candle closed perfectly. Alrighty, and the other thing that you want to remember is to not get caught up on the smaller time frame. You do know that it could do this, and that's the failed auction of the value area high. So you might be watching here, and then it's starting to bounce. You better not end up longing right here. If you're gonna long, you should at least take it here. I don't want anybody trying to long right here. Even if it did this, it just doesn't make sense from like a RR mathematical standpoint. So, all right, so let me just get caught up on chat. Let me gift everybody subs, and let's get nasty to 57.7. You ready? You ready? Why you think I started the stream tonight, y'all? Because the math is the math. Woo! On average, Kimba referrals are at like 502% just on MEXC. Y'all ready for 57.7? The math is the math. RG Bargy says, I gotta go to Costco, but I don't get service in there. Fuck that shit. It's gonna be there tomorrow. Let's go, RG Bargy! Come on! Not my hands. Not my hands. Rem, let's go. Maybe Band-Aid, let's go. Y'all ready? Let's go. RK, I see you. D-Babs, I see you. Hey, if you ain't juicing, what does Coin Nerd say? You hoeing. The math is the math, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what to do, you need to get caught up on the highlights. What do we say? After 53.3, 53.5, there ain't nothing to short. Bugatti. Who juicing? Quit playing with me, Paz Cop. Let's go. You missed it? How? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I am talking about. Well, you guys ready for a little Nobu takeout? You guys ready for a little Latuche late night? We're like $600 away from, like, didn't 57.6 hit on some exchanges? Hey, we're damn near 57.7. Ladies and gentlemen, there should be no surprises. I don't know how many motherfucking times we said, hey, after 53.3, 53.5, ain't nothing until 57.7. And guess where we just went to? Boy, quit playing with me. Ain't nobody fucking with the Lions, my butt. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about it, and the line is there. The line is there. Diriku says, what does math say that we were going to go to 57.7? How many hands up if you were in the morning stream? Hands up if you were in the morning stream. Hands up if you were in the morning stream. Now, hands up. Give me a tippity tap tap if you remember when we were talking about how, hey, if you get above 53.5, there's really nothing left until 57.7. How many of y'all remember that? Tippity tap tap. And it's not really about memorizing or remembering what I said. Did you understand why it would just straight go to 57.7? Do you remember what we talked about? How there was a big ass gap? And ladies and gentlemen, where did we end up at? Wasn't it a straight shot from 53.5 to 57? Lions prepared. Nasty.
You know, one thing my trainer, he told me, he said.
What did he say?
He just told us to be prepared.
He just told us to be prepared. I think this is the most appropriate song for right now. Fadila says, are you planning on shorting? Fadila, there is no like, are you planning on longing or shorting? I'm planning on looking at the data when it gets to the level. Okay, so Fadila, if you've been watching, I had 3 levels for the last 2 weeks, right? 53.3, 53.5, 54.6, and 57.7. And the real question is have you been waiting? Like, did you feel as strongly as me about if we get above 53.5, you're going to go to 57.7? That subconscious sort of bias comes into play here. You know, it's one thing for you to not know what the fuck you're doing and just blindly follow somebody or like try to collect what the general consensus is and just act on what you feel like everybody else is doing. But it's a whole nother ball game when you have your own subconscious bias. So it all starts with, are you as biased as I am about how once it got through 53.5, there was really nothing until 57.7? And what is your level after 57.7? So for me, this is a level that I'm watching, just like how I watched 54.6 make a symmetrical bullish triangle, right? You gotta watch. Okay, were you in the morning stream when I said, hey, 54.6 is the next level that I'm gonna watch? So after that, it's 57.7, pixel perfect. So if it swing fails, if it fails auctions, if it does a 3 drive, if there's a hidden bear div on the higher time frame, if it makes a regular bear div on the smaller time frame, if it goes to a Fibonacci retracement, or maybe we get all of the motherfucking above. It's the same shit that I do every single time. So am I planning to short? In a way, yes, but as long as if it doesn't give me an edge, then I'm not planning shit. Roger that. So I'm going to do the same thing that I always do every single time. You've been watching me for quite some time. Do I ever take the first wick? Nah, I rarely do. I don't think you've ever really seen me do, maybe a handful of times, but it would probably be less than 10%. I usually get it on the second one, right? On the retracement, the 7.5, the golden pocket. So let's get it. Any questions? Crypto is saying 62 is coming. Well, maybe it is, but for me, it's level by level. And if you guys remember, 53.3, 53.5, 57.7. We're pixel fucking 57.7, ladies and gentlemen. Gracie says, can you show EXO? Yes, we can. Guess what? Open interest is still at $700 million. Uh-oh. Who is Crypto? I don't really know, but he's like a YouTuber. Not too bad. Now the question, like it's at the Big Daddy value area high. Now the question is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And even if we were going to go to 62K, if it does reject off of value area high, then where's the easiest long opportunity? The POC of the motherfucking range, Bugatti. And guess what? That motherfucker lines up on fib and their single prints. So I see some, I'm ready. But that's what I'm saying is when we spent those 2 days talking about how if you get above 53.5, you're going to go to 57.7. And we were talking back and forth. Some people were like, no, what about this level? Or no, it's going to go higher. So there was a discussion that we had about all the levels in between 53.5 and 57.7. But, you know, if you remember, my bias was, dude, it's going to rip through straight to 57.7. So it just depends on how strong your bias was for that interpretation. Shay says 57.7 is the 7A6 of the big weekly chart. Yeah, do you remember when we did the TA already, Shays? It's 7A6, it's range, value area high, it's a whole bunch of things. Mo Guy says Coinbase didn't sweep. Mo Guy, finally, a voice of reason and logic and math. Yeah, so I'm watching probably the same thing you are, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But let's get nasty. I bet there's people that are long that still have some of their position open, brother. You know, just because you closed everything at 57.7 doesn't mean everybody else had to. Nekazar says, oh, we are live. What the fuck? Nekazar, did you miss the morning stream? Because I said I would be back. And do you know why I said I would be back? Because this is rare, right? That's why a lot of people are like, what the fuck? There's a reason why I am back online, y'all. And there's a reason why we're at 57.7. Nekazar, do you remember when we said for a couple of days that really beyond 53.5, there isn't any resistance until 57.7? And honestly, it really doesn't matter if you heard me say it or not, because conceptually what we're trying to do is have everybody understand how they can figure out the levels for themselves. Altcoin Poppy says, just hedged my long. Entry for short was at the top. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Let's get nasty. How we doing, Lions? Y'all better quit playing with me. How many of you would fucking just be super pissed and would switch into, oh, he's paper trading if I showed you all a 54.7 entry? I mean, 57.7 entry. Would anybody be pissed? It's okay, be honest. I would be fuming? Why? Oh, feeling bored. Just joking, all love, I love you. Oh, Peasy says, I will be furious. Loy says, worth staying up for this? This is what I would say, Lloyd. What time is it for you, Lloyd? So we just got to, Lloyd, you were here. So it all depends, brother, on, did you hear me say, and were you here when we talked about how 53.5, after that, next stop, 57.7? So for me, when we started breaking this morning, do you know how rare it is for me to be streaming right now? And for me to tell baby girl that we're going to get Nobu delivered and not go there. So you got to understand, like for me, it's all kind of planned, and I want to see if I'm going to get stopped out, or if I'm going to be able to add a little bit more on tap bit, or if I can add a little bit more on Kraken. I didn't get a full fill because I had tiny, when I do, what do we say when if we're going to put tiny blind limits, we're going to put them tiny, right? So as somebody that kind of knew that, hey man, like beyond 53.5, there really isn't any resistance until 57.7. I want to see this. But if you weren't preparing for it, or if you weren't as strongly biased as I was, that 57.7 could be a resistance level, then there's no reason to try and like torture yourself right now. You should go to sleep right now and try to get up as early as you can, rest up, and go at it again tomorrow. I promise you there's going to be another trade tomorrow. So it's kind of up to you, Lloyd, but I would be self-honest. Like if I hadn't been ready for 57.7, I would be going, I wouldn't be on right now, and I wouldn't have a position. Earlier, we talked briefly about where you could get back into a long again, right? So, it shouldn't really surprise people if I get into like a little bit of, if I feel like there's a really good shot based off of what you guys just saw on ETH BTC. And I mean, look at this. We're in the golden pocket. Yeah, I think don't be surprised if I can get into a nice little thing on this bad boy. Everybody sees it though, right? Like what this is doing. This is the daily. Everybody should have this and just be watching it themselves. Look at the VWAP support. So today is going to be exciting. I mean, that's why people that want to go to bed. Are you seeing this? You guys have every day there's going to be like a juicy trade, so nothing to get too burnt out over. Roger? I'm juicing. But I feel like you can definitely see, holy fuck, the next couple days, the next couple weeks could be nice. Whether it does a sweep and then shits itself, right? Or it actually plays out. Do you remember what the ETH BTC target is, ladies and gentlemen? And do you remember when we did this times what we projected BIDI to be? 57.7. And that's how we got this. So the math is the math. The short is Gucci. I can't lose. And we're just having fun. And we're Latucha, and I'm about to have a glass of Opus, maybe eat some delicious sushi. How we doing? And then I got to go to New York tomorrow, y'all. So we got how much time left? We got about an hour left together, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions? Any questions? The juice is the juice. The math is the math. Evox, Uguchi, Drojan, Masahiro-san. Can you show single prints? Absolutely, Frenzy. Now, do you know how you can get them yourself, brother? You got a single print at like 54.8. You got a single print at like 54.7. You got a single print at like 53.7. You got a single print at 52.9. Okay. If you ask me, I'll show you whenever you want, but I just want you to know, like, you guys can get these whenever you want, and you can get them for your shit coins. You want them on ETH, you want them on Doge, you want them on XRP, you can get them. Attis, A as in Apple, T as in Thomas, A as in Apple, S as in Sato. There you go. Everybody's typing it for you. And then .net. Alrighty. DGen J says GoCharting.com TPO indicators like Addis. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's also a TPO thing in TradingView. It's like beta, right? So Fabo says GoCharting is pretty good too. That's awesome. There you go. So Yeah, work together and get, you know, it's there's nothing wrong with like did my mouse freeze again? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having like differing biases and differing ideas, and I think it's actually healthy and absolutely beautiful. It's one of the things that makes it so amazing and interesting. But like there's certain aspects of this game that is not debatable. Just like how there's certain aspects of you know, sports or, you know, different things that aren't really debatable, and that's, you know, things like single prints, where the single prints might be, where the imbalances might be, where the volume, where the, you know, biggest amount of volume is, shit like that. Is this considered failed auction? I would actually consider this a swing fail, perhaps. But yes, on the, this is also a, you could also consider this a failed auction. Theoretically, there might be a, but not financial advice. And just like how Homie was mentioning that, does the 382 rejection look good to you because it's not letting people back in? Yes. Because if you're, the whole objective is to stop people out, then it doesn't really make sense to go back to a mathematical obvious level where it would let everybody get back in, unless on some occasions they're just trying to trap top longers. Alrighty. But pretty exciting Monday. We did a stream in the morning. It just was fucking flying when I was flying. You know, now it got to a level where we have anticipated. So the velocity and the volatility in which it got to 57.7 is crazy, but the level itself, not crazy. So level of interest, is there some sort of edge? Let's get nasty. Fadila says, can you identify the TP levels for the short of 57.7? Yeah, well, sure, I guess, but I want you to be able to do the same thing though. So here. No, before wet, hold on. This is daycare TA. Bull flag target. Think. And let's mark all of the levels of interest red. All right, I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit loosely. So that's one level of interest. And then we got kindergarten TA, and we're gonna go with fibs. And we're gonna mark that and that. First grade would be volume, but this would be on Coinbase and CME. So it's not really applicable here, but we'll do that in a second. And then second grade TA, TPO. And, well, TPO is good enough, but mainly it's single print. Like, I'm just not It's not like pixel perfect. If I were to do this myself, it would be pixel perfect, but I'm doing it for the idea. I would try to figure out, once the levels are identified, obviously you would still let more run all the way down. And so just in the short term, like let's say, for example, you were super bearish and you still wanted, even if it went down like that, you still wanted 50% of your position size open, then that means that you're going to close out 50%, at some of these levels. And so this might be 1%, 1.5, this one might be 3, this one might be 3, this one might be, all of this might be 6. And so when you get down here, it's, you have whatever you want left. But what I just did, I would do the same all the way down. So this to this was what we just did. But I would also get this versus this and start to notice this, 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 this. I would go this, and I would go, oh shit, oh shit. And then I would probably go like this. Oh God, my scroll wheel is going crazy. Jesus Christ. And then this, there you go. So you have that. You have naked, that. I mean, so this area just in general, if it ever comes back. Single print, naked, point of control, and then you still have all this shit that you kind of have to see too. Single prints. Okay. Does that help? Does that help? Oh, you know what we got to do? Okay. Damn, man, this shit. The whole fucking year is gonna be exciting. I guess I'm getting a little bit carried away, but I'm getting hyped as fuck just looking at the charts, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be a nice retracement, and there's obviously a really nice chance to poppity pop. I just need to make sure that I don't get too hyper aggressive trying to chase the move. ES is at 50.78, so there's a chance that this fucker is gonna gap, right? So if this is gonna gap to the downside, and you can see the volume, well, it's kind of useless, but you see this? It's pixel perfect on golden pocket. So whether it, you know, and then the 7.5 is like the 51 hundo bearish retest. Maybe it could fail auction, but I don't want to just, there's obviously like a bullish bias too. It could continue to sweep the sweep, for example. And so that's what I mean by I want to see the Bugammas tomorrow, right? I want to see the Bugammas tomorrow because is there a fucking chance that we're going to get an easy little thing, or is it going to actually try to, like, is there a big ass Bugamma that's going to show up for 51.40? I don't know. Stay tuned and find out, motherfuckers. But it's going to get nasty. It's going to be goofy. And whether you juice up economically or not, I think it's going to be an awesome, amazing like time to juice the fuck up on knowledge and price action. I mean, S&P is at an all-time high. What the fuck? Ain't no way. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all lions. But Javi Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. He said he's going to smack the shit out of you, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a fact. Kung Fu punches. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great day. What a crazy ass start to the week, y'all. Have a great night. Rest up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody. Bugatti.